coronavirus leaked from a Chinese lab.
But we haven't found any substantial evidence for the lab leak theory.
Well, if you can't find any, I'll do it myself.
But virus origin tracing requires scientific evidence and it takes time.
Evidence, evidence. I am talking about reaching the conclusion. You are pestering me with evidence.
You do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly.
Most recently, the US released an 83-page report on the origins of COVID-19. And the report is done not by scientists, but by the Republican congressmen. I don't want to question their proficiency, but when I read through the report, I was like, What? Yeah! For instance, in the evidence of lab leak part of the report, it uses news posted on China's social media network Weibo Douban as a source. It's like citing Wikipedia as a reference in your paper. And the funny part is, they don't even know the differences between Weibo and Douban. The report assumes the Communist Party of China prioritizes preserving the party over lives. Seriously? Do you mean the same party that built new hospitals in just 10 days, risked huge economic damage by going into a full-scale lockdown and closing its borders, and has administered more than 1.8 billion COVID vaccine doses at home? The report also emphasized the committee minority staff's recommendations for actions to be taken by the United States in response to COVID-19, including seeking new leadership at the WHO, pursuing Taiwan's readmittance to the WHO as an observer. How is Taiwan even relevant to this? The US is basically saying we must use this as an opportunity to rally allies against China and regain our say in the global health body. And that's what they have been doing. Despite an international outcry against politicizing COVID origin tracing, the Biden administration has been desperately calling for further investigation into the so-called COVID lab leak theory. Not because they particularly care about science and facts. If so, they would gladly open the door of the Fort Detrick lab to third-party scientists for inspection, but because the scientific conclusions so far are not what they want. Sounds like a deja vu, right? Remember the US side used a test tube of laundry powder as evidence for Iraq's possession of weapons of mass destruction? The US has topped the ranking of COVID-19 confirmed cases and deaths for too long, and sees its daily infection hitting new highs with the spread of the Delta variant. Still, the politicians' main focus seems not on saving its people, but on politicizing the pandemic. So it's completely fair for us to come to the conclusion that US politicians prioritize political gains over lives.